Alright, here we want to be able to identify and apply the associative property of multiplication and addition. Be able to identify and apply the associative property of multiplication and addition. Now, again, this does not work for division necessarily or subtraction, but it does work for multiplication and addition. So you might want to keep that in mind. Please make sure that you write down not only just what is written up here, but also what I say as I frequently remind you. So let's get started. Well, what do we think of when we think of the word associate? Your associate is usually the people you work with, or you hang out with, or you do something together. You associate, maybe you've heard that. You associate with people, people you talk to. And so the associative property, if you wanted to use symbols maybe, would be if I hang out with Bob and Bob hangs out with John, okay, then if I'm hanging out with Bob and then John comes along, or if Bob's hanging along with John and then I come along, eventually we're all three hanging out together at the same time. And so that's a kind of a people analogy of what's going on here. If you have A times B, and then you multiply that times C, well, you're going to get the same answer as if you do B times C first, and then multiply times A. So let's just do a quick example. 2 times 3, it would be 6, and 6 times 4 would be 24. Well, if this was the 2, this is the 3, that's the 4. 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 times the 2 is also 24. So you can see how that works. You can do either one first, and you'll still get the same end result. How about addition? Let's do the same numbers. 2 plus 3, or let's do the letters first. A plus B, and then you add C. It's the same thing as if you do B plus C first, and then you add A. So 2 plus 3 would be 5. 5 plus 4 would be 9. If you did the 3 plus the 4 first, you would get 7, and then you total that plus the 2, you'd get 9 also. So there's some quick demonstration. Now, again, look at all these problems on the board, and maybe at first they might seem a little difficult, but if you use, and you know how to use, and you can quickly identify, oh, the associative property would be helpful in this situation, might make these problems a little easier. Instead of doing 5 times 3 and then multiplying times 30, what if we did 3 times 30? That gives us 90, and 90 times 5 gives us 450. Some of you guys might find that math a little easier. Instead of doing 13 times 5, let's do 5 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 13 is 130. Okay, you can see where we're going with this now. This is 4 times negative 8. That might not have been super clear, but 4 times negative 8 times 5. Okay, easy way to do that would be negative 8 times 5 is negative 40, and negative 40 times 4 would be negative 160. Now, you might notice also, just as a side note, you could also have used the commutative property here and done 4 times 5 is 20, and 20 times negative 8 would give you negative 160. So, you know, it's up to you how you would use these, but a lot of times, if you know how to do them, and you know the options, then you can pick which one's right for the situation. 7 times 4. Now look at this one. We have 0.25. I threw this one in there on purpose. What is 4 times 0.25? Most of us know that 0.25 is the same as 1/4. And 4 times 0.25, or 4 times 1/4, is actually 1. And 1 times 7 gives us 7. That might be a little bit easier than 28 times 0.25. Might be, might not be. You can decide that for yourself. Okay, 5 plus 36 plus 4. Let's do 36 plus 4. That gives us 40. 40 plus 52. Seems like some pretty easy math to give us 92. 39 plus 48, that seems a little tricky. 48 plus 12, though, is 60, and 60 plus 39, most of us can do that in our head, is 99. 16 minus 12 minus 8. Now, here we have some subtraction, but we said this only works for the associative property of addition, so we know to change these to add the opposite. Add the opposite. Now look at what we have. We have an addition problem. Negative 12 plus negative 8 is negative 20. And negative 20 plus 16, bigger number, 20 minus 16, smaller number. That gives us 4. The sign of the bigger number, the negative 20 was bigger. That gives us negative 4. Last but not least, we have 47 minus 26 minus 4. Let's do add the opposite. Negative 26 plus negative 4 gives us negative 30. 47 plus negative 30 gives us 17. Okay, so there's the associative property of multiplication and addition. If you have all multiplication or if you have all addition, then it doesn't matter if you do the second part first and then the first part, or vice versa. Basically, your grouping can change based on whichever is going to be convenient or make the math easier. You can put that in your own words for your summary. All right, that's it for this video.